Hello, Sergio. How are you today?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. I didn't shave. Did take a shower though, so that's good news.
Oh, I'm sure your wife will like that.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah, it's like as long as she can't smell you from the shed, it's okay, right?
It's all good. It's all good. I feel like
um,
some member of my family is getting COVID tested every other fucking day. So, you know.
oh, it's just everywhere. It's kind of like on this go around. I mean, when you look at the data, though, so many people that are getting super sick, it's like 97% unvaccinated.
Of course. Well, I mean, what did they
I mean,
expect?
I don't, yeah, I don't. So, but I do see the vaccination rates going up. So I think it reminds me like when the Cold War ended and took down the Berlin Wall and all of that. Everybody made such an effort not to rub it in the Russians or the Soviets' faces,
Right.
to try to not like do the victory dance on them, like us Americans are so want to do often,
Uh-huh.
um, and just to not get them all pissed off. So when I look at these unvaccinated people, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, look, they are what they are, and anything that gets them to get over their stubbornness or whatever and go get vaccinated is a good thing.
Yep.
So I'm not saying anything. If they can see the data, I'm sure it's not too hard to read. And
Well,
just let's stay healthy as we can.
yeah, Mr. Trump's out there pushing hard on it and attacking DeSantis. So I'm actually been surprised by that turnaround, telling everybody to get boosted and attacking DeSantis for not being willing to admit he has been boosted. So that's some progress.
Yeah, well, I think that's isn't DeSantis like Trump's biggest challenger in the next
Yeah,
like
well, now he got yeah.
he's trying to
It's
outflank him to the right,
yep,
go after his core supporters,
yep,
where Trump's trying to move toward the center. It looks like to me. Um, to try to get all the people he lost in the last one back. So, to
yep,
me, I think this is the time for Trump to pivot on that message if he
yeah.
wants.
Well, because
Um,
it's what cost him the presidency. Anyway, we should probably
yeah, yeah. Who gives a shit
get
about
off the
that?
fucking politics and vaccinations.
Yeah, let's just stay healthy.
Exactly, exactly. Let's see. What do you got today, Joe? Well, we got a little dip happening at the moment, or we did. I haven't looked in the last hour, so let me look and
I
see
haven't
what we
really
got
looked since
going.
this morning. Um,
Let me
I'm,
take a look.
it's one of those things where I have all this new stuff coming, and everybody's kind of languishing in all the macro stuff as
Oh,
to what happens next. And I kind of go, whatever happens there is going to happen.
yeah, dip
You
and a
can't.
bounce.
Yeah, you can't. You know, it's easy to see that the equities markets are overvalued. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to
Yeah,
be a
that's easy. Yeah,
friggin' MBA to figure that one out. Um, the question is that you don't want them to crash.
yeah,
You want that to prick those bubbles or whatever, so that they dissipate some. It's easier said than done.
yeah.
Um,
You got some
uh,
weird background noise going, buddy.
oh shit, that's all the leaf blowers and stuff outside. Hold on, let me.
Okay. Oh no worries, no worries. It's all right. You can turn down the
Yeah.
gain on your mic, but other than that, yeah, it looks like Bitcoin did a nice little dip from 44 down to the 42s and back up to 43 here. So
Yeah.
you know,
No, I mean, yeah, we're at like 43. I think that looks. Look, everybody's just kind of waiting for something interesting to happen.
yeah.
Because everything else, macro stuff, is all uncertainty. But to
Are you
me,
VPNing?
like always, it's like you asking me, am I wearing a condom? It's like, of course I am.
Well, you're lagging.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on. Why don't you talk while I manage this?
I'm going to. I'm trying to load something up here.
All right, I'm killing it right now, so I'll be gone for a second.
No, no, just booting so he can't get back on. Well, if Dex Guru would load, there we go. Phantom doesn't know again that Bitcoin is down or up because Phantom just keeps going up. Broke $3 today, and it's still wow. Dex is slow today.
Yeah,
Um,
I think when I sold that last time, I think I sold it at pretty close to where the last high was. Was that like 370 or was that?
I'd love to
4-ish?
be able to show you if fucking Dex.Guru would load.
Yeah. No, I don't. Look, when I look at everything, I'm just waiting for the rebase token rebound. I mean, a lot of that stuff I went for purposely to, not just rebase tokens, but the Geist and the Blizzard. I just locked all that up to forget about it. And those unlocks are coming like, later this month, next month, ongoing. And so, I just like to see a nice rebound in those. The rebase tokens themselves that we're already in, kind of keeping an eye on those. I'm not really adding to those positions because they're just growing so fast.
Right.
I just need a move on the price. And, that hasn't happened yet. So, but I see all this amazing news. So whether it's metaverse or it's, GameFi stuff or play to earn or, any of the things we're talking about, the Web3 stuff, it's for real and it's big.
Yeah.
I think that, also if you're, if you got in, like say last year or early last year, or you were holding from 2018, 2019, you're going to take profits.
Yeah.
If you don't, you've been in the game that long, the volatility. So you're either going to just take the profits or you're just never going to look at it and just wait. So to me, I look at all this again, as I always say, as a natural cycle. And, when
cycle of life.
Yeah, when I see the amount of stuff that's going on, in the financial institutions, JP Morgan, is talking about that token of theirs again. Remember they were talking a lot about that like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And then not much. Well, now let's talk about JP Morgan coin.
I'm going to do a coin.
So, kind of back to like the banking house coins, which would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But, so it's all coming. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, I agree totally. I just would like, I keep feeling like we're going to have some decorrelation and then, they come back to correlating again. So I think there are good signs that's going to happen more and more. So I'm excited about that. Did you see this Alchemix commercial I sent you?
I saw it. I thought you were going to do something on air, so I didn't look at it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. I'm going to put my mic up to the speaker just to hopefully make it so everybody can hear it.
If you, on that Apple stuff, if you slide that toothpick over to the left, it works a lot better.
Yeah, it just never fucking stops, this guy.
All right, I'm trying to find. Okay, here it is. I got it.
Okay, let's see.
So, you got some money, but how are you going to use it? You want to spend.
You need shopping now, bro.
When you know you should be saving.
You'll never buy a house at this rate.
But what if you could spend and save at the same time?
Hell
The
yeah.
enlightened kind, with inquiring minds. A new world awaits. Set yourself free with completely flexible, self-repaying loan technology. Supported on desktop and mobile. Seize the power of Alchemix, allowing you to spend and save at the same time. Leverage your wealth without risk of liquidation. Take out a loan that repays itself. What was once inconceivable is now within your grasp.
You're winning, son.
Nicely done too. That's high quality, great humorous message, gets the point across. Now, is this something I think would sell to everyday kind of retail consumers? No, probably not. But it'll certainly something that can be shared with other people in DeFi, and that they can get an inkling that it's possible. So I just really like it. They're gearing up for version 2 launch, which is coming very soon. And there's some really cool possibilities with version 2. The first is that alternative yields. So instead of the kind of 3.3% that makes the payoff on these things take much longer, there are some, riskier, higher yield possibilities coming in version 2 so that the loans would actually pay off faster. And I don't know if that's completely composable or not, or if they're just going to, as a community, pick them and then populate those into the application. But I think anything that, look, when you see USD yields 10 to 20%, there's certainly some opportunities there to increase this pace at which these get paid off. But at the end of the day, it's a self-repaying loan, so it's hard to argue with.
Well, two things. One, when we were talking yesterday, I believe it was to Eamon, we talked about the bribe systems on some of those different tipping systems or prepay system. Think of that concept, and also think about the geyser concept. And I'm thinking more of the beginning geyser, where you use the geyser tokens to get different rewards.
Right.
Well, what if you could do something like that, but use it to like factor in how fast these loans get paid off?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a gotcha machine.
That's cool.
With different coupon rates in it. And you use whatever token to do that. But some angle like that. I mean, look, if you're in Celsius or crypto.com or staking on Aave or, Geist or Blizzard, this is a no-brainer for you.
Yep.
Because, you're already comfortable with that concept. Now, the new concept here is that, not only do you get to borrow and go stable farm or whatever, but they pay it off for you.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate hedge to me.
No, it's awesome.
And,
and a quick announcement I'm doing a Mission DeFi interview, but I'm doing it with Zeus, Sam Kazmian, and Scoopy all at the same time. And we're going to talk about the trials and tribulations of starting a project in DeFi and what people starting projects should avoid. So looking forward to doing that one probably next week some point. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah. So, that's what I said to the guys. I said, look, I think we've reached that time where now projects like theirs are being much more mature about their approach and how they handle things and how they've built it. And it's time to pass that knowledge along. And all three guys are more than excited to do that. So I'm excited to get those interviews up. So this is really interesting to me. So, Kane.eth, one of the founders of Synthetics, right? And this is interesting because he makes a comment here about the fact that most people don't have a clue how synthetics work. And he's right. I had no clue how synthetics work. But this is a really interesting concept because this is a great walkthrough. I retweeted this, but this is a great walkthrough of how synthetics work. But more interestingly, he's actually talking about taking synthetics, the tech behind synthetics, and turning it into a bridge, right? So essentially, synthetics allow you to trade against equities or other products or other tokens that may not be available on a chain you're on, because you can mint these synthetics and an oracle pulls the current price back, right? But what I didn't completely understand is that he walks through and says there are two main components to synthetics: staking and exchanging. Staking takes SNX and other collateral and turns it into synthetics or synths. He says, think ETH turning into DAI in Maker. So he said exchanging is by far the cooler side. It allows you to take any synth, SBTC, SETH, and SUSDC, and many more, and convert them at the current Chainlink Oracle price. In order to do this, the protocol has the ability to burn one synth and mint another synth. This ability enables exchanges, but also creates the potential for cross-chain bridges. He says, to the best of my knowledge, no one else has been stupid enough to try something like this, and for good reason. When you allow direct swaps like this, it creates all kinds of attack vectors, even mirror silo pools. This is one of the reasons we decided to pursue Optimism PBC. On Optimism, the lower latency of the network allows for atomic transactions between since there's no waiting time, which means once we start getting more traction on Optimism, the integration of cents will create significant volume for the protocol. Anyway, so the other reason he said was to reduce the cost. He said, but they're moving the staking side of the protocol to L2, which then means now he has this fast synthetic minting platform, basically, that would allow them to cross back and forth with other L1s. So you could have this really fast synthetic bridging capability that they could then use their existing protocol to work across chain. So anyway, I encourage everybody to go read how this works. He says that there are other benefits, cross-asset swaps, et cetera, et cetera. The other interesting thing about this to me is not just the bridging, right? If you can have a very fast ability to cross-chain synthetically generate these tokens and trade, but still be getting the actual token on the chain or having it come back to you on the chain you're on. Now, this is yet another kind of Lego in the seamless multi-chain thing that you and I always talk about, right?
Yeah.
Which is, making it completely synthetic, making it completely invisible to the user that they are actually cross-chain trading, staking, yield farming, whatever, because this to me sounds like an incredibly promising bridge capability, right? Because it's so fast that it gives the ability to make people be able to take advantage of trades on another chain without worrying about a lot of slippage in the price. So to me, this is a really interesting concept. I think it has a ton of potential. I encourage everyone to go read. It's his Twitter handle is KAIYNNE. And I've also retweeted it on, I thought I retweeted it. I'm going to retweet it now. It'll be at the top of my Twitter feed. I know what I did. I quote retweeted it. But this is really fascinating, and I think has a ton of potential. So, but keep an eye on this. And evidently he was against deploying synthetics previous to multiple L1s, but now he's starting to see the light. So it's very interesting.
That is interesting. No, I mean, look, that's like we talk seamless infrastructure.
Yeah,
we don't think about the power where it comes from. We stick a plug in the wall.
Yep.
It's not coming from one source only. It's coming from the cheapest possible source.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I think that's what you sort of want to see with whenever we talk multi-chain and all of this. It's that same concept.
Yep.
Of a fully decentralized market with the best pricing for the users.
So Bitcoin, Ethereum are most profitable investments of the last decade. They beat stocks. They beat everything else. It's interesting. I was in a convenience store day before yesterday, and the man behind the counter said, I had a Bitcoin shirt on, and the man behind the counter said, hey, how do I buy Bitcoin? And I said, well, the easiest way if you have no experience with cryptocurrencies is to go to coinbase.com, create an account, connect your debit card, and you can buy it that way. I said, and he said, well, do you think it's a good investment? I said, well, I'm wearing the shirt, but I said,
it's all I have left. It's a shirt on my back.
I said, yeah. I said, and this article came out yesterday, but after I'd already talked to him, I said, but yeah, against all commodities, equities, and everything else for the last 10 years. And I was just talking about Bitcoin to him. Bitcoin is the most profitable thing you could have bought and invested in over that 10-year period. So yes, it goes up and down. I tell the same speech I always tell everybody else. It goes up and down. It moves about, but it definitely is a good place to put your money. So anyway, there's just some validation on that. Another interesting thing is, I don't know, Joe, if I have a past life in political campaign management. Did you know that about me?
I think you mentioned it once when you were like doing a big rant against
somebody.
I think a sitting congressman at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, probably Brad Sherman.
Yeah, I think it was one of those. Yeah. Talking about your buddy. What's the
Erica Rhodes.
Yes, Erica Rhodes.
Yeah, she was on Bankless yesterday. Did a really good job. But we need to coach her on some of her policy stuff. She still just needs to be able to say specifically things that she's going to do. And so she's got some work to go there. But, Brad Sherman, evil Satan of anti-crypto Satan. Anyway, I had a call last night with some old friends from that world, and they were contacting me because this guy named Blaze fucking something or other, running in Arizona for Senate, raised $550,000 with an NFT sale for his campaign. He's running for the United States Senate in Arizona. And and they said to me, we're thinking about starting an entity that could provide the infrastructure for NFT sales for political campaigns. And I said, well, that's really interesting. I said, what do you guys know about it? And they were next to clueless in terms of their knowledge of crypto and NFTs. So one of them had done some research and understood conceptually and had bought some NFTs. So bought some crypto and bought some NFTs to go through the experience. So, I gave her an A+ for that. But the interesting thing was how easily I was able to walk them through. So I told them about the pitfalls. I said, look, you're going to have some resistance if people have to buy crypto to buy the NFT. So you're going to want to do a platform that already has debit card and credit card capabilities built in, like Flow does for MBA. And Near, I think, has an integration with someone with a wallet with credit card capability. I said, so that's step one. Step two, these folks are Democrats. So I said, you're going to have to also deal with the fact that, some members of that party have decided that they want to make crypto evil. So you're going to have to deal with that and talk about the fact that you're doing it on a layer 2 or an alternate layer 1, and you're not going to have an impact on climate, blah, 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 blah. So we're walking through it all, and I'm explaining things to them and showing a few screens to them, and they're getting excited. And then I said, now, are you guys creating this as a company? And they said, yeah, we're going to create it as a company to build this out. I said, okay, well, you need to understand you're going to have, some significant expenses, right? You're going to have to hire developers, and you can't get them right now, or you're going to have a project that already exists. Like I mentioned Doki Doki to them, that makes it easy for you to deploy something. But you've got a lot of education to do for yourself, and you've got some expenses that you're going to have to deal with. I said, but do you know what a DAO is? Anyway, I walked them through DAOs, walked them through all the stuff. By the end of the 1 hour or so call, these people are like ready to form a DAO. They're going to raise for the DAO, with a token sale and blah, 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 blah. I mean, they were gung ho. And I guess the bottom line of why I brought this up is that, we always assume that normies or people in real life won't get this, but it really isn't that difficult if you kind of structure how you talk about it, and you give them something that they're interested in to be tangible for them. Because one of the guys on the call is an attorney, and he started text messaging me afterwards and said, oh man, I just reopened my firm. I really think I could use a DAO for my firm and then expand nationally without all the normal hassles and bullshit that goes into building and licensing a law firm in every state, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, you should look at it, but I definitely, the point is that everyone should still be evangelizing crypto, DeFi, and NFTs to their friends and family, because once people get it, they get very excited about it. I mean, really excited about it. And once they understand the concept of a DAO, I had hesitated on explaining DAOs to anybody outside of my world, outside of my crypto world prior to last night. Once they understood it, man, they were so excited by kind of like the message of empowerment, the ability to kind of gather a group of people together to create something powerful was a really powerful message for them. They really latched onto that wholeheartedly. And I think what we may be missing in crypto and DeFi is how powerful an entry point DAOs could be for people to get into crypto, because it's kind of this empowering concept that everyone loves the idea of employee-owned companies. Everyone loves the idea of taking a community and building something together. And when you let them realize that it's possible and that there are ways to raise funds and for people to make a profit from it, it's a really powerful message. So anyway.
Yeah, I noticed different levels of traction out there too. I talked with one of my accountants 2 days ago, and started asking about, he has a buddy who I think put $3,000 into one. I don't know which token it was. I think it was called Legacy or something like that, but turned into like 500 grand.
Nice.
And so I don't know if there's an exit liquidity there for him or not. I didn't really look, but we started talking about it, and then he starts asking questions about NFTs, and like, well, what do I do with them? And I'm like, well, just Google like NFT frame, and that's where you put it if you like the picture. I said, Are you talking about like an investment or something? And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just buy the ones you like. Don't do it for the money at this point. But
Yeah.
So here's a CPA coming in that's now getting intrigued that he's missing the NFT boat, i.e. the sense of capturing some, French impressionist painting for $100 that's then worth 500 million one day. And they get that. But I think that there's so much FUD and so much messaging out there that confuses everyone. Like I'm looking at the just like one of the headline aggregators for crypto, and it's everything from Pulp Fiction NFT battle heats up, largest crypto exchange sponsoring Africa Cup of Nations. Solana could be the Visa of crypto networks. Bitcoin trades add to El Salvador sovereign risk, Moody's says. FinTech Naga, a German one, to start crypto-focused social trading platform. Gemini acquires crypto asset management platform Ritria. Northwest Arkansas offering 10K in Bitcoin and a free bike to relocate there.
Yeah.
Bitcoin,
I had my wife look at houses in Northwest Arkansas yesterday.
I drove through there last couple of years. I've done some drives through the Midwest. It's, Memphis is a place to check out, dude.
Well,
Memphis.
I will tell you, the fucking Ozarks in Arkansas are beautiful. I grew up going to camp there every couple of years when I was a kid, and it is beautiful up there. Just fucking gorgeous. I don't want to insult anybody, so I'll leave further comments about.
But the point is that when you're
Arkansas.
coming from like big urban hubs, when you go to these smaller towns or cities, it has almost everything that you want. You just have to find the right place to be there. I mean, for me, what I like about, say, Northeast cities is, don't need the car to drive everywhere.
It's true.
Of course, in Miami, you do.
Yeah.
But, you go to places like, Memphis, Knoxville, Little Rock, I'm not that familiar with, but there's a lot of like Fayetteville or whatever up there.
Right.
And, all those little towns, they actually have like downtowns and things going on and restaurants and stuff. So if all of a sudden you could keep your job, your virtual job pulling down big city coin, and then you're living in like Knoxville or something.
Yeah.
There's still an airport, you're still a 2-hour flight from just about everywhere you would go anyhow.
Yep.
Why not try that out?
I totally agree, dude. The cost of living is just amazing. And being able to remote work at higher salaries or higher income levels and be able to be in a cheaper place is really awesome. It's amazing. My wife and I, a couple of years ago, were looking at, there was this village on the southern Italy that was offering like
$1
homes for $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty enticing because I can work anywhere as long as they have a decent internet connection. Anyway, so you remember talking about Revest and the time lock capsules,
yes,
the NFTs they had? Well, they've got a competitor. Charged Particles is out with vesting capsules, and they're going straight after that market, whereas Revest is trying to say, hey, vesting is one of the functions that you can do with these, but there are all these others. Charged Particles is 100% focused on offering, NFTs that have tokens locked in them for a particular period of time. And I think they also had other programmability for unlocking, like Revest has, where if the market cap of the token gets to X amount, then the team can unlock X% of their tokens. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that somebody else was copying that. It'll be interesting to see if Revest can make sure they get more market share. One of the things I talked to him about was that he should really be talking to the guys who are doing the funding, right? So, VC, seed guys, private guys, funding groups, whales that are investing in projects. That's an opportunity. Now, here's the really interesting thing. The thing I talked to Revest about was, enabling borrowing and selling of the NFTs, right? Because at the end of the day, let's say you have a bunch of tokens because you invested in a project and they're worth $1 million, right? And you don't want to wait another year for them to get out. Well, there could very easily be a marketplace, maybe even a segment of OpenSea that's just vested token locked, NFTs, where you create a marketplace on people who are willing to take a bet on those tokens paying less than their current value, but betting that they will sustain where they are or be at a higher value once they're unlocked. So I think there's some interesting things here. I could also see borrowing against these, right? You know that the current tokens inside hold $1 million in value. You do some conservative, lending against these so that whoever has them can take, 25% of the value and go out and make money with that while the tokens are locked up. So I see a lot of possibilities in this world. Just another interesting use of NFTs. I think there's a lot of possibilities for leveraging the additional functionality that non-fungible tokens give us. And this is a great use case.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of what we're always talking about too. It's just, you have to have lower LTV ratios and, get the market circulating.
Yeah.
Because right now that market is kind of stuck on like OpenSea last sale price as whatever the value is. Well, what we know is that, someone might miss that on OpenSea, but then see it as an investment opportunity over here.
Yeah.
So, I think all of these sort of baskets of features and products that we talk about, almost every day, I think these are all testing beds for those. And eventually some big institution is going to roll these features up into a product, or, one of the DeFi top 20 is going to roll it into a giant product or a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
With all the best features. So that's why it's so important to look at all of these yield generating techniques across all the different sectors. And then, that's how you create the monster platform that allows the lending and allows the staking and allow NFTs and tokens, and allows that kind of secondary market type activity that you just mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. So evidently the Valus blockchain, which a friend of mine was one of the core developers of that blockchain, is founded by a guy. He owns a crypto payment gateway, and I can't think of the name of it, but Filthy Rich built this great payment gateway for crypto, and he built the Valus blockchain, which is a alternative layer 1, high speed, pretty easy to use. Just hasn't taken off yet. Well, evidently they are launching a node for their network into space on SpaceX rocket, which I find interesting.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
So, I don't know the details on it yet, but I think it's a good PR move. So whatever. It's cool. Anything space I'm a sucker for.
Yeah. And I saw something like Germans are trading crypto certificates now, have the highest trading volume on the Frankfurt exchange.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of another interesting one. And I saw something else that looked interesting. Coinbase bought FairX. This one here, I was curious. What are they saying here about House and Senate Agriculture Committees issued bipartisan call for CFTC guidance on crypto?
Yeah, Gensler was doing his stupid football analogy of if we didn't have referees, blah blah blah, on Twitter yesterday. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut the fuck up. Let's see. You got anything else, Joe? I got it slow today, man.
Yeah, nothing super exciting on my side.
Did you think any more about the curve convex stuff yesterday? That was great, man.
Yeah, no, I want to dig in and just see what's going on with Geist and Curve over there on Phantom, because I'm in a couple of these.
Are you still in Geist, or did you bail on that?
No, I locked it all. So,
Oh, that's right.
Made me stay.
How long are you locked?
Well, some is vesting and others locked. I think a lot of stuff starts unlocking this week or vesting this week. So,
good.
But it's up like 90% in the last couple of days. So it's coming off the bottom. I'm just waiting to see, what happens next. But they have this interesting, like when you earn platform fees off of that platform, off of Geist, just like with Blizzard or even Aave has them too. it automatically, you don't have to have it actually on the platform. It can be in your wallet, and you're automatically generating return or yield on that in small increments of, like GDI and GUSDT and, FUSDT and all those things.
Right.
Well, you could stake those, and they're small amounts. It's like $3 here, $6 here, but they're like multi-token pools of like 3 to 5, and you can custom design them. So there's a lot in there that I have to really dig into, with Curve to really understand it, because I think that is, look, if we can cash out well on one of the big plays, that then you're going to be looking more at other things where it is how to use stable coins and do different things to generate better yield, with larger amounts of money. And
Sure.
I haven't really gotten too deep on that side yet, because I'm not fighting over the billions. I'm just, trying to grind out money.
Right.
But when we get there, I think that's something we're all going to want to know. And I think Eamon was digging into it pretty well. But it's just so much at play there that it just takes a while to absorb it, what you can do with all that.
Yeah, I agree. No, look, I mean, we'll look forward to your full tutorial on Geist when you get a chance.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to talk about Geist and Blizzard. Still sitting in both of those, Geist on FTM and Blizzard over on AVAX. They're just down. They had a lot of whale selling. I think one went from like 2.7 billion in TVL to, I think, like maybe 700 million. Ooh, so they've taken some big hits.
Yeah.
And a lot of people dumping.
You know what? I haven't looked at. I haven't gone back. I still am sitting on that Snowbank and Snowdog. I wonder. I haven't looked to see. I haven't noticed any news from them.
I dumped the Snowbank.
I did not.
There's so many out there at this point, and Snowbank and Snowdog, they always got a story coming next. And I'm kind of tired of their stories.
Yeah, but they keep building, man. That's what's interesting. So now they've got something on their feed. Our first new turbine is live. A turbine is another name for the minting contract for a given liquidity pair. MIM AVAX is the #1 pair on Trader Joe and will allow the treasury to earn fees from every swap on this pair. Learn more about turbines here. So I'm going to load that up and read it.
That's kind of interesting, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're basically...
they keep delivering on everything they said they were going to do. And this is new. I didn't even know about this.
Well, they keep talking about a lot of stuff. I haven't seen the lending piece there come to fruition yet.
Oh, I thought they did launch that.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
They didn't. I don't see any tweets about it. You're right. I don't think they did.
God, I think that they're just, I think they're doing a good job after the Snowdog debacle.
Right.
And they seem to be keeping going. But, I kind of look at, if I'm looking at Snowbank, then my choice is Time or Snowbank.
Yeah, of course. Because you got to be a little nervous. But like I said, I kept some of my shit in there just for shits and giggles. So.
And even the smaller ones that I've already DCA'd into once, I'm just letting those ride right now. Yeah. Because again, I think that it was talked about a little bit yesterday, and we've touched on it before, but the emissions, the rebasing, essentially emissions is incredibly dilutive. So it's very hard. There's always going to be a first dump, because those first whales, you're not going to walk away and, leave 30x on the table for a while. And you're going to try to come back in later, of course, if you really believe in it. But, you can't stop that. It's like, unless you try to lock them up for a couple of years, but who's going to necessarily do that if they can put their money somewhere else where it's not locked? So I see that there's all these things that have to still evolve. But at the same time, I look at it like, if I don't look at it for 2 years, one or two of these is probably going to succeed, of these like down, the extended range, say rebase coins, tokens.
Right.
I'm not talking about Time and, Klima and all that stuff. And you might have a huge stack, of money there, just like if you
sitting there.
If you threw it into an LP pool and just came back a year later, like a lot of those guys did in the Doki stuff early, when it was 650% or something. Oh,
maybe that's another club, Joe.
What?
You just throw shit in and everybody comes back in a year and sees what happened. Like pick every time a new project's launching, just throw in $100,000 from the fund, the club, boom, 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 and then you don't touch it for a year.
Another one is every time, yeah, I mean, or when they're off,
Set it and forget
95%
it,
off
club.
their all-time high. I mean, I've moved some stuff into other wallets just because I don't even want to look at it, like Iron Finance, that was as high as 60 before the run on that bank. And I think it was Titan or something like that. I can't remember which was which, but so, that thing fucking got gashed. So, I bought 100,000 of them or whatever and just threw them in that junk wallet, just in the sense that, I've seen it happen before. When I had hundreds of thousands of tokens and I was thinking about dumping them for $37, but didn't.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're on an exchange and, both swaps and a central and a DEX. And, it's going for 14 cents.
Yeah.
So, to me, you have that long hold play, but you don't trade them. You don't really look at them. You just set an alert somewhere that says, hey, if this gets to this, let me know.
Right.
And then forget about them.
Yeah.
And then find the ones that grow. But I think it's, hopefully one hits. But, if they don't, they don't. I mean, another one is Polydoge. That, dog coins are making a run again.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I've been wanting that one to do something. That was had a white boy rapper who the Chinese really liked. So he had his Lambo thing going. Yeah, it's hysterical. Nobody ever even heard of this guy. And yet he's got a Lambo scene with a couple of Asian gals on it rolling around. And he's, doing his thing.
Fucking hilarious, dude.
But it was really funny. And so I thought it was just, who knows? It could have one of those crazy ass.
Joe buys the white boy Lambo rapper
with a couple of Asian gals. And but it was just so ridiculous because I'd never heard of the guy myself. I asked my daughter.
I'm shocked, Joe.
I asked my daughter.
I'm shocked you haven't heard of the Asian rapper, white boy rapper.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, but I don't even think he has a big. Well, no, he does have a TikTok account. But his name is Bart something, Bart whatever. But the point is that I got 7.5 million of them. So for some reason, some moron decides to put it in play for something like, oh, we're going to go buy shitty electric cars with it. Then, it could go like crazy. I was waiting.
Are you trying to see if I'm paying attention? What the fuck?
Yeah. But you never know, man. Maybe it goes up to like 20
just
cents.
what the fuck is that scenario? They're going to go buy shitty electric cars with what the fuck?
Because of Elon and all of his, Doge and Shibu and all that shit for a Tesla.
You mean like it'd be like the GameStop where they start taking tokens? So there's some like shitty company in Asia somewhere that starts taking the Polydoge.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Gotcha.
So
awesome.
That's in the wallet where I just don't really.
I like that. I like that. It's a nice because you don't have to think about them. You just put them over there and you fucking wait till they make you rich, or you just forget about them forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
I like
one
that.
day. I mean, maybe one day there was something, but it's not like I'm throwing, $20,000 at each of these. It's like, you're definitely buying on the dip after the catastrophe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I put a little bit more in that Eureka. Did you see that the guy wrote the APY post that I mentioned? Did I send that? Did I talk about that yesterday? Yeah, I did.
Urethra?
Christ, you gonna pull out a fart joke next?
No. I do remember that one. I thought that was very, very clever.
So I think I think the interesting opportunity for him is he is speaking to something that's kind of rumbling underneath the surface about the rebase tokens or APYs in general. And so I think if he can get out front in terms of PR, that there's an opportunity to grab some attention for that project. Now, the other problem is his timeline is very extended. So he needs to ramp that up because there may be some long time horizon investors, but nobody's going to put $500,000 into a project that he's not sure kind of when he starts the actual treasury deployment stuff, a year from now. So, but otherwise, I think there is a market, an audience of people who are saying, I'm a little concerned about what I'm being sold in terms of APY. Here's a guy over here giving me the straight shit, right? Because he's got now on the Eureka site, he's got his R APY, and he's got his what the other projects would put as the APY, and then he's got the real APY. So let me.
I'd love to see that on QuickSwap stuff,
right?
Because I always felt like, a couple of grand at 15 bazillion% should yield you more than 47 cents a day.
You think?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go to that.
I saw something else that Near just did another capital raise, another 150 million. I'm not sure what they're using it for. I saw something else about the CFTC stuff was pretty interesting. That the Congress seems like they're ready to give jurisdiction for CFTC to provide guidance on crypto.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they took that power away from Gensler, but maybe.
It's not really his, though. It's not, because...
Well, I mean, we can argue that all day, but he's going to fight for it.
Yeah, it all depends on what we're talking about, too, in the sense of, anything in, the derivatives and stuff like that of, say, ETH. ETH, I think, has pretty much been designated as a commodity, and even the CFTC guys say, "Well, we wouldn't be listing it if it wasn't a commodity."
Right.
Which I love that logic.
Yeah,
Of course it is. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. It's like, but there is definitely a bureaucratic battle going on. But I think the SEC is better suited. Like, even though the Treasury guys I know that kind of are brushing up against the side of the stablecoin issue, they're advising Gensler on that, what U.S. policy perspective is. So he doesn't generate policy. Gensler doesn't.
No, of course not. But he interprets policy. That's where the SEC has too much power is the interpretation, right? The board interpreting. So here's how Eureka shows the two APYs, right? So it's the APY that you would see if it was a normal rebase project, and then the relative APY, his R APY that he does. So I like that they're doing that. The other interesting thing is you could come in here and have for 10 grand, you can come in here and have half the TVL if you wanted.
Yeah. What's the APR on it? APY?
The R APY right now is 360.1%.
Yeah.
So,
look, I think
it's sitting at like 2 cents. Yeah, it's 2 cents per token.
Well, I think the cool thing too with these rebases is if you're just, staking the token on the platform site, for S Klima or Geom or whatever they are, or S Udo or S Dog, S Bank. I like it because you don't have to think about the impermanent loss factor.
Exactly.
Unless you're staking the LP tokens, which I really don't understand why people want to do that.
Yeah.
In the sense, unless there's a giant discount. But I'd rather straight up, I guess you're getting the rewards in the pool where you got the token, but you're not getting the big token rewards like if you stake the token there. You're just getting the share of transaction fees.
Yeah.
And you get whatever rewards when you stake it, I guess, in one of these bonding or minting processes somewhere on these platforms. But then you're not getting you're just getting the platform fees. You're not getting the rewards from the liquidity pool. Just 5,000 in volume, and your share is X percentage, which I find kind of interesting.
It'd be interesting. That what we were talking about last night, the bigger picture with the DAO and the funds and stuff.
Yeah.
The focus of this project eventually is going to be leveraging the treasury for market making and liquidity providing in DeFi and centralized exchanges. So it's a very trade oriented protocol. There's some interesting stuff there. No tokens.
Yeah,
no tokens.
Yeah. Yeah, no token sale. Exactly. It's basically, I guess, giving, airdropping, allocating.
Yeah, this is interesting. Total supply is 10 million, in circulation 612,000, but I could have sworn I saw that they ended the airdrop. Airdrop has concluded. Oh, I think he's doing it in waves. That's why.
Yeah, he's
So-
like kind of doing a wave rollout.
So he did 612,000 out already, and then he's going to do more. Current backing is 0.01 cent. That's interesting.
How much TVL's in there now? 3,900?
93, 92.
Oh, there was only 3,700 in there yesterday.
Yeah, it's tripled. 300% gain in TVL. That's the tweet.
He should be saying, thanks, Brad Nickel.
Where's my tokens?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, these are, I wonder how it would play if you, did something. I mean, as long as the people are credible, are there any of these DAOs, US-based DAOs doxed?
I think there are some that are doxed. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but look, I can't verify the guy's background, but in the conversation I had with him, I asked him some questions about market making that I know the answers to because of my involvement with material indicators that he was able to readily answer. Right now, he may have studied market making and never did anything with market making, but felt like it was pretty legit. He had a really detailed history of how he got there, what he did, what he learned along the way. So I obviously can't do full due diligence on him. He hasn't been doxed to me, but I went in thinking scam and came out thinking, wow, this is pretty tight. So, I for myself personally, I mean, I got a couple of bucks in there, nothing at all, but I actually like the guy and I'm keeping the conversation going with him because I think I get the impression he's really trying to do something different and something responsible. And, it all could be a rug, but so far he's not making any money on it because there's only $9,300 in the treasury and he's doing a complete airdrop for the launch. He's not doing a token sale at all. So, those are all things that say, wait a minute, maybe this is a little different, a little more responsible. Now, of course, at the end of the day, his goal is to make a buttload of money on this thing, right? But he's got a longer time horizon because he already has an income. He's still market making. All his market making is still happening, according to him, in an automated fashion with the tools that he and his team built. So I like it when someone doesn't need the money to go, right? They're doing it because they think they could do it better, which is usually a pretty good indicator. Do I think they're doing it perfect? No, I think they need to do a much better job of explaining the purpose, a much better job of social media and marketing it and getting out there. But I think so far, it looks like a pretty honorable project to me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
cool.
and it's early.
Yep.
And, like if their domain expertise is there, you can usually pick up subtle cues too on whether they're committed to the project or not, or whether it's a rug. And so that sounds really cool. Now, tell me again, what is it that they're trying to do, the Eureka guys?
So his goal is to build up the treasury.
Right.
And he said he'll have other investment related projects around the DAO, but he wants to take the DAO into what he knows, which is market making and liquidity providing. Right. So his goal is to take and have the DAO will vote on it, but have a stable of 5 to 10 companies that are market makers and that have a plan or strategy and provide funding into their market making for the DAO, right? So the DAO would get the treasury would get the proceeds from that. His goal is to get to 10 so that, if one or two of them fail, they still have a nice profit margin that they've made. And that's on centralized trading. And then on decentralized, he wants to implement some of the same strategies he's utilized in market making for liquidity providing on larger pools and in the space in general on the DeFi side. one of the things I touched about, I said, look, you're going to have a real trust issue with people investing funds in people outside of DeFi, right? So that there's no smart contract controls over the funds, right? It's just, okay, here's the money, go play with it and bring it back to profits. But there are ways for him to lock that up in exchange accounts, et cetera. He would just need to APY and show people the real data that's coming in from those trades. But I think there's a lot of money to be made there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that the potential that a project's treasury is growing and profits are accruing to stakeholders in the project, and they have a very conservative approach to rebasing and emissions, could be a really powerful, profitable revenue stream for people, right? If he could build up a powerful revenue stream from market making and liquidity providing for the protocol that is paid in revenue and emissions to stakers of the tokens, that's a nice model that actually equals, instead of spikes and drops and spikes and drops, that could potentially be a nice model that equals a nice steady stream of income for people that are invested in the project. Again, I don't have any details on algorithmically how he's going to handle everything and how he's going to implement everything or anything else, but I just know the big picture vision that he has.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's interesting. Anyway, and by the way, I have I haven't been handed any tokens. The tokens I do have are worth, I don't know, $40. So we're not talking big dollars here. I have no dog in this fight. I just am commenting on what I found interesting. We went this whole show without the banner, Joe. What's your job?
No, you took it down. It was on earlier.
I was?
It was on it. Yeah.
Oh.
You took it down on one of the screens.
This is not financial advice. Do your own research. These are just our opinions. We are not your financial advisors. That's all I got today, Joe.
Yeah, we should have a little thing that plays at the beginning, maybe like a show theme or something.
Yeah, I'll do an intro.
And then it has this thing ripped out there
in my spare fucking time.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the shows are available, video and audio, at missiondefi.com, and on YouTube and your favorite podcast app. I'm going to reiterate today, please go to Apple Podcasts, Apple iTunes, and review us and subscribe so our numbers there improve and we get more traction for the podcast and go up with search results more. That's all we ask of you. Please do that. The attorney is finishing up some final bits and pieces on the investment club document. I'm sorry it's taking so long. Everybody that's a member of the club or has said they want to be a part of the club. She hit a couple of things that she discovered yesterday. She just wants to be sure about, and she's getting back to us today about her research about that. It is moving forward. We are not stopping this at all. And all of the infrastructure is mainly in place. Zero G's. Eamon has done a fantastic job and has worked very hard on all our behalfs to get that up and rolling. So thank you very much for your patience. Please rate and review us, subscribe, give us a thumbs up wherever you watch us. We love you guys and we appreciate you tuning in. See you, Joe.
See you, everybody. See everyone tomorrow.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Brad. You too.
Bye-bye.